Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio, and I am back today to do the 50 Stack Challenge number 3, which is a weekly prompt challenge hosted by Amy at Crafty Cat, where each week she draws 2 prompts, and you're to make 2 pieces of ephemera or art or whatever you choose using the 2 prompts. And she had kind of based her prompts this time on Christmas, but they are generic enough that if you did not want to do Christmas, you could do winter. A lot of them are suitable for fall or just general ephemera. And this week I am doing Christmas, but this will probably be the last one that I do based on Christmas, because I have tons of Christmas ephemera now for journals, and so I don't want to be I don't want to have a ton left over, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so I'm probably going to then turn to working on stuff that is just for general journals, or, a winter theme to be used after Christmas. So what I have, the prompts, could tell you that, huh? The prompts for this week are sled and paint. So I'm going to make just a couple of journal cards, and then actually I'm going to make one journal card, and the other is going to be like a pocket with a belly band. So for this one, I have a piece of scrapbook paper. I have one of the Tim Holtz journal cards that I'm going to use this calendar side of. I have this digital piece that actually says winter on it, but you're not going to be able to see most of that. And then I have this digital piece, which this whole thing is a sled, and then these kids are on a sled, and there's a little calendar right there. So I'm assuming it was some kind of calendar, Victorian calendar. And I'm going to put that on here like this, kind of like that. And then I have this little tag that also has 2 little kids on the sled, and I'm going to put it down here. I have cut out, or not cut out, this is a Tim Holtz from his Christmas sticker book that says December 24th. And then I have this vintage label like you used to put on packages or whatever. It's got the velveteen little poinsettia on it, and they were gummed on the back, and you stuck them on your packages or on your greeting cards or whatever. And I'm going to put it on here just kind of like an embellishment, because it has that vintage vibe. So this is going to be my journal card to cover sled. So as you can see, it's going to be pretty quick. I'm going to use gathered twigs, I think, for this one, if I'm the right dauber here. And just ink around everything real quick. And this is kind of an off-white on the back, and so I'm just going to leave it so that you can journal on the back of it. We'll get everything inked up and glued together. this one. I can't believe October is almost over already. Christmas is actually going to be here before we know it. Don't need to ink that, but I am going to ink these. This is pretty straightforward. I mean, there's nothing fancy about it. Okay. Now, and I'm going to use art glitter glue for all this just because I don't feel like messing with my glue stick. Do you ever get like that? Sometimes I think glue stick's more trouble than it's worth. And I just cut the card, obviously, a little bit bigger than the Tim Holtz card, just to have a little border around it. Try to get it semi-straight. Okay, I'm going to put this on here. So I hope everybody is doing well today. It's Friday. Of course, now that I'm retired, every day's Friday for me. I'm loving it. Oh, I didn't want to cover up December. Smooth that up. I wanted to leave the winter months showing down at the bottom. That was my point of doing the calendar thing. About forgot what I was doing. Put that there. And then we're going to use this poinsettia to cover up July. Because this is definitely not July, right? I mean, I guess it could be July in some places. Snow on the ground. It's definitely not July here. Okay, so there we go. Just a cute little kind of Victorian inspired journal card. And you could add a topper up here if you wanted. You could also make this a pocket if you wanted it to be a pocket instead of a journal card. I will reserve all that for when I actually use it. All right, now for the biggie, paint. I do not have a lot of paint that is other than acrylics, and I did not want to do acrylics. So I am going to attempt to use my brushes. So I have watercolors, but my watercolors are all, I have a really nice watercolor set actually, but they are all for doing like wildlife, because I do dog portraits, and so all the colors, you know, are suitable for that kind of thing. And I want to do this little poinsettia that I cut out with one of the Tim Holtz 3D dies. And obviously, you know, those wildlife colors or whatever are not going to work for that. So I'm going to attempt to use my brushes, and I also have my Candy Apple Distress Crayon, and we're going to give this a test and see how this goes. So I'm going to do that first, and that way that can be drying while I put the card together. So again, this is just one of the 3D dies that is by Tim Holtz, where it embosses plus cuts out the image, whatever it may be. So I'm going to take Scarlet, and for those of you not familiar with brushes, it is a powder-based watercolor that is very, very highly pigmented. And so you just put a few little specks of the dust down, and then when you put water to it, you can see it changes it into a watercolor. So I'm going to start out just kind of putting this everywhere. And I am by no means a watercolor person when it comes to stuff like this. So I have no idea how this is going to look in the end. Hopefully it'll look like something worth using. If not, then I won't use it, and I'll have to come up with another solution. But as far as filling the prompt, I am painting, so we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to do the whole thing red first. And you can see it takes very little of the powder. As a matter of fact, the top just has, you know, a little hole in the top of it so that it sprinkles out kind of like salt, because it does not take hardly anything. And of course, you know, the color is going to be varied based on how much water you use. So I'm trying to do less water, like where those little, the veins are, so that the color is more vibrant down in those veins. And please believe me, I am no expert when it comes to this, so it could look horrible by the time we're done, but we're going to give it a shot. And if you get these, I would recommend just doing the hole in the top. I would not open them up. because if you open them up, you're going to get way too much when you're trying to use them. And it'll last longer if you just have the hole in the top. Let's get just a little more water to the end there. Okay, now I'm going to take the leaf green. Clean my brush out a little bit. And put that kind of in the center. Maybe come out just a little. And maybe do just some of these leaves on the very end, because you know how the poinsettias, their leaves change from all green to red. So we'll put maybe just a little bit there. Then I might take just a little bit, I've got some lemon yellow. Just kind of dab that around. And then go back to the red a little bit. It looks like a big hot mess, doesn't it? Okay, so let me clean my brush out. Let's try that. Take it off my plastic thing here so it doesn't melt. It's like a big hot mess right now. Maybe what it looks like when we're done too. I'm kind of holding it up so that the heat will pass through paper. Alright, so that's what we have right now. It's kind of scary looking, isn't it? So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take this candied apple crayon, and I'm just going to rub it kind of all over. Like that. And then I've got a wet wipe over here, and I'm going to wet my fingers just a little bit. And I'm going to go over that. Still kind of scary looking, isn't it? The little center part didn't come out at all. I don't think I got a good cut on my die because those little parts in the middle are usually a lot more prominent than that on this die. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna wipe my fingers off here, get all that off my fingers. Otherwise, I'll have it all over everything. We can now take some vintage photo, which I know isn't paint. I'm really wanting that veining to come out more. Yeah, that's just not what I wanted. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's okay, but I really expected that veining to do better. All right, we're gonna try to fix this. I'm gonna take my number 1.1 here, and I'm gonna draw the little things in the middle, and maybe draw some of these little veins. Yeah, I don't think I got a good die press on this because some of them you can't even hardly see the veining. goodness. Could you hear that? Something went flying down the road. Sounded like a motorcycle or something. We have a lot of motorcycles that come out to this area because it's rural and they like to take those rural rides, you know. And the leaves are getting pretty, and so they're taking their bikes out. Okay, that's better, but I really want some green in there. Maybe I could take some distress oxide. This might be too dark. Ah! Why did I do that? I know not to put water on my ink pad. Slight moment of brain dysfunction there. Luckily, I just did that one little spot. Yeah, let's see. I could almost use something that's lighter. Twisted citron. Thing about that is it's going to mix with everything underneath it. So you're not going to get a true green because it's oxide. But it's better than it was. It needs to be, oh, maybe I could do, I have an idea. If I took a little bit of white gesso, don't you love experimenting with me, guys? Ooh, that's gross. Now, I don't want to do that with a, I don't think I have a little brush over here. Bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna have to put that up. I hate to put gesso on my glass though because it is so hard to clean off the glass. I could have got a more pointed paintbrush. Do I sound disgusted? It's because I am. It's better. I'm going to do just some plain white. I can live with that, I think. I mean, it's not perfect, but maybe this one right here with some green. Let me put this. Okay, let's dry that real quick. See why I said I didn't want to paint? Not my kind of painting. Okay, now let's add some veining back in here. Alright, now let's ink around the whole thing. Give it a more vintage kind of look. Okay, there we go. There is my painting for what it is. So, then I am going to, this is the pocket or journal card or pocket end journal card. My thought was that you would make this music page part the pocket and then put this over it to make a belly band like that. Let's glue that down. Actually, I'm just going to tape it, I think, because it's going to be glued to the page one way or another, whether it's a pocket or, I mean, obviously if it's a journal card, you're going to back it with something, but if it's a pocket, like if you made it a pocket, then it's going to be glued down, you know, at least on 3 sides some way. And then this is a Rachel tag, Roxy Creations, that I'm going to use under the belly band. So it'll go like that. And then the poinsettia is going to go right here in the middle, right front and center. And I think I'm going to put it down with some foam tape so that it sticks up a little bit. And that way, too, I can be sure that it's going to stick to the vellum, but it's not going to wrinkle up the vellum. There we go. Sorry you had to be put through that torturous event, but there are my 2 makes for this week. We have sled and we have paint. So I would say I hope you enjoyed that, but it was probably torture. So I appreciate you hanging with me for me to get my little flower at least halfway decent looking. And I will see you guys back next time. We'll be doing some general journaling for the weekend. So I will see you guys then. And until then, everybody have a great start to your weekend. And I'll see you on Sunday. Bye.